Vodafone. Everybody knows Vodafone, right? You have Vodafone all over the world. And in Africa it's even called Vodacom for some reason. But what about in Australia? Are they as good as they are in your home country? Or are they a flop in Australia? In this review we're gonna talk about the prepaid line in Australia of Vodafone to see if they are as good as they claim to be. Let's go! Vodafone, probably one of the most recognizable brands in the world because they are active in many parts of the world. Of course we also have Vodafone in Australia, and I bought this prepaid SIM card for $2 at a convenience store, meaning that I didn't activate it in a proper Vodafone store. Just note that if you're in Australia and you want to buy a prepaid SIM card, you have to hand over your personal details such as your passport details or ID if you're probably from New Zealand, so that they can register you in their system. So in this case would mean that if I want to start using this SIM card, I need to go to the website, which is probably vodafone.com.au/activate, hand in some details, and then I can start using this SIM card. You can buy Vodafone SIM cards in official Vodafone stores, in convenience stores, gas stations, all over Australia. A bare SIM card costs $2, but you can also buy ones from $10 up to $60, because from there you get a package lasting you 30 days data up to 60 gigabytes if I'm right. A little bit more about Vodafone. There are three big telecom providers in Australia. You have Telstra, the biggest, Optus, the second largest, and Vodafone, the smallest, with air quotes. In this case, the largest, Telstra has the best coverage throughout the country, meaning that if you go to the outback or rural Australia, you will have the best connection and coverage with Telstra. With Optus it's a bit less, and there's a general consensus that Vodafone is the worst if you are planning on going to the outback. That doesn't mean that you won't get any connection when you're there. Instead, you may have 2G data, which is extremely slow and it will infuriate you, or very slow 3G data. So keep that in mind if you're planning on going to rural parts of Australia. But if you're staying in cities, Perth, Brisbane, Melbourne, Sydney, Adelaide, maybe even Hobart, yeah, Hobart as well, of course, that's part of Australia, Tasmania, then Vodafone could be a good choice. So I'm now outside in the Melbourne Botanical Gardens where I will be conducting our speed test. But before we actually do the speed test, we need to see what we get when we buy a Vodafone starter pack. So let's see what we get when we open this pack. So you get the starter pack. Normally you can see the SIM card there, but I already took the SIM card out, so we can do it later. On the back you can see the instructions on how to activate it if you want to do it online, but you can also go to a Vodafone store and they can activate it for you. So here we have the SIM card itself. The nano one is already out because I put it in my phone, but you can push it out. You can also have the micro one if you have a micro SD slot, or the standard one if you have an older phone. And that's basically the SIM card. On the back you have more information on how to activate it, and some more information such as your SIM card number, and that's all you need to know to activate your SIM card. Let's go to the speed test. Alright, so it's time for the speed test for Vodafone Australia. Let's see how well they do in Melbourne. So connecting, ping as usual, it's around 20s, in this case 17. Here we have a download speed of around 12, which is okay, although I would expect more from 4G LTE. Okay, we got 13.5 upload speed. Maybe will be much higher than the download. That's gonna stay. Oh, it might actually. No, we were so close, but seems like it's not gonna happen. Well, with Vodafone, your download and upload is, well, basically the same, as you can see, at least in Melbourne. This is the slowest speed we have had with all the major carriers in Australia, so compared to Telstra and Optus. But with Vodafone you can get much more for the same money. So for $10 you can get 5 gigabytes, for example, whereas Telstra will only give you 1 gigabyte. So if you're on a budget, Vodafone is a good choice. But if you are really interested in speed, you might want to go with Telstra or Optus if you feel like that. So that's the speed test for Vodafone Australia. Alright, so this was the review of the Vodafone prepaid SIM card. I was kind of surprised with the low speeds you would get in this park. You'll probably get maybe a bit higher speeds when you're downtown, but I wouldn't expect much more. Like I said, Vodafone is a good choice if you're on a budget and you just want cheap data for low prices. You can go for Vodafone, but if you want speed, you would be better off with Telstra or with Optus. So hope you liked this review. If you did, make sure to like this video, comment below, and make sure to subscribe to this channel, Phone Travel Biz. Also check out my review where I take the big 3 providers, Telstra, Optus and Vodafone in one video and do the ultimate comparison video. And check out my blog at phonetravelbiz.com, and I shall see you the next time. See ya.